70% of feature flags are never removed from code bases. They just sit there day in and day out, accumulating technical debt. And you just know someday there's going to be a catastrophic failure because of an old flag. And we've even seen that teams that try to remove flags, they often fail because the truth of the matter is it's a lot more fun to add a feature flag to a code base than it is to remove it. That's though why it was kind of exciting to see this new feature from Cursor called automations. They are cloud automations that leverage the power of an agent. And one of the sample automations they include is cleanup feature flags. So I started looking at the prompt here. And one of the things, though, that I'm not sure about is this first step. Identify flags that are permanently on or off or marked launched. How is the agent going to have that context from the code base? I suppose if you had a configuration file where this stuff was being saved, but even then, how are you going to know? And I thought that I wanted to try modifying this task to use GrowthBook's MCP server, which has a stale flag tool that's been added recently. And that would give you the exact context that this needs to actually work. And I've played around with it a little bit, but I haven't done the whole kind of process. So let's try it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click build. I think that every day maybe is too aggressive. I'm not sure, but let's just now change it to every week. I'm going to check the GrowthBook repo, keep it on main. And then what we need to do is add that GrowthBook MCP tool. So I have MCP server here. I have GrowthBook. I've set this up already for automations. It's very simple. It's the same process as setting it up for any other AI tool, and we have documentation on that. Now, the steps here, what we need to do is change this. So the first thing we should do is get in all of our feature flags. So get all feature flags using the GrowthBook get flags tool. So then now the automation will have a list of all of our flags that are available. And then I will say, search for those flags in the code base, and any that match, provide them to GrowthBook's stale feature flag removal tool. So it's searching for all the flag names from GrowthBook. It gets those, and those then to look for those in the code base, and any that match in the code base, it's going to give to the GrowthBook stale feature flag removal tool. And then the rest of this, I think, is all pretty solid. Of course, after some testing stuff, probably iterate on this and make it even better. But let's just go ahead and enable this. So it says that it's been created successfully. Very nice. And then I'm going to go ahead and run a test here and see. This will probably take a little while. And so I will let it run, and then we'll come back and see what it came up with. All right, we are back, and it took 8 minutes and 49 seconds to run, so it was not a quick thing, but you have to remember this is an automation. This is something that will run autonomously without your intervention. And let's take a quick look of what it did. I was watching it, and it worked really well. So we first used the get feature flags tool from GrowthBook to fetch the feature flag names, and it shows us all of our different titles here of the different names. And once it had that, then it explored the GrowthBook code base to cross-reference those flag names. And then once it had all that, those cross-reference names, it supplied those to the get stale feature flags tool, which returned then all of those feature flags and whether they were stale. So this one we can see, for instance, it's stale, the rules are one-sided, and then the value that it should be replaced with, which is really important. But it also notes here that our environments disagree, and that it should confirm with us, the user, how that should be handled. Here, then we can see also like holdouts feature. This is not stale. So it gives a great rundown of all the features and then how confident it is about whether they can be removed or not. And then it did a good bit of time of reading through all of our code base, which again, this isn't just a toy project. This is a real production code base running GrowthBook. It's very complex. And so it's going through all of that stuff. And it came to some conclusions. And I'm going to actually toggle this up because it gives us a nice summary at the end. And so it was able to confidently remove 9 feature flags. And it tells us why. And then it also then generated the PR for that. So we can see some of this diff over here on the right where it's removing the certain GrowthBook helpers and then um, like actually reverting or changing the code so that it's always true. I don't know if I love just, this sort of substitution here, and that might be something to specify more in the directions, but it won't break, it'll work. And so even here you can see that it's removing, this is a good example. We have this import from X feature flag. So it totally took that out and then put in the right value underneath. It also, I saw when I was doing it, but it ran all of our CI/CD kind of processes like checking for formatting, checking for type safety, all that sort of stuff, which is really great. And then I can even show you here is it opened this feature flag on the repo. So we have remove stale feature flags. We have cursor here, which is just kind of still weird to see, right? Cursor giving us this um, PR to remove the safe feature flags. And now someone can review this. We have our CI/CD running on it. Shows us then all the files are changed. You know how this works. Regardless, I'm pretty impressed with just like a first kind of pass at this. And I think it could be an amazing kind of addition to your workflow, especially if you are a team which struggles with removing stale feature flags. And guess what? That's all of us. We all struggle with this. So try it out. Get the GrowthBook MCP server, hook it up to your Cursor automations, and get rid of those old feature flags.